Today I'm going to be sharing with you how you can farm the Starchrom currency here in Once Human, and yes, that is going to be the juicy currency that we are using to go on the wish machine in order to be able to get some blueprints. And also, as well as doing this, we can of course go onto the blueprint shop here and actually buy some blueprints straight up with this stuff in the top corner. I'm going to be showing you a farmable way to get it, but of course you can get it from completing different events and such in the game, but this is going to be your consistent way to farm it with your territory defense. So without further ado, we're going to jump into it, but if you do find the video useful and informative, please do leave me a like and subscribe down below, as both of those things massively help me out, so it would be much appreciated. Alright, so first things first, you're going to need this in your base, and this is the Stardust Resonant Filter. If you interact with this, what you'll be able to see is on the left hand side your purifiable items. Now at the time of recording this we only have the first couple of tiers unlocked, but if you're watching this in the near future or at any point in the distant future, you will probably have the higher tiers of this unlocked as well, depending on what stage of the current season you are at. Now the level 1 Cortexes will give you some Starchrom when you complete a defense. You'll see here that they output 490 if we put 7 of those in. It's going to tell you that the monster level is going to be level 15. They recommend 4 players. There's going to be 2 waves and 1 elite enemy. And you can kind of see what is going to be coming to attack your base there and the time that it's going to take. Now, if you instead pop in some level 2 ones, you'll see that the prize does increase from these, but so does the monster level. You're still going to have the same 2 waves and 4 recommended players with 1 elite enemy. And it's going to last 5 minutes. However, if you put in more than this, so you put in both of them, you're going to see here we've got 3 waves, 2 elite enemies, a bigger output by quite a bit, but the overall monster level is going to be 25, and you're of course going to see more enemies with that. So in order to farm the Starchrom material, you're essentially going to activate that and defend your base. I would highly recommend getting yourself some turrets set up here. I've got 3 on this one side here, connected all the way up there to one of the power nodes. If I just go into build mode and fly around, I'll show you. I've got a couple of solar panels up here. I've also got one on this corner powering some stuff inside my base, and an additional one outside here powering this turret. Now my base isn't fully set up and optimized for this. I would probably like to have a couple more turrets on this side, just because they do play a massively vital role, so I would certainly recommend doing this. If you're in the build menu, you go onto your facilities section, onto the defense section, and providing that you have the Memetics node unlocked, which I'll show you in just a moment, you are able to build things like your rifle turrets, your shotgun turrets, flamethrower traps, and all manner of other things here which can be really useful, as well as of course some defensive structures. The memetics that you will need for this is of course going into wooden support, which you kind of have to do in the building tree to unlock everything else, and then you go down to basic defense here, which will give you the sandbags, it will give you the fortification and the high fortification, which is the thing you saw my turrets on there. Then you go down to defense traps. This will give you access to spike traps, fire traps, and gravitational grip traps. And then down to auto turrets. This is going to unlock rifle turret level 2 and shotgun turret level 2. But it's worth noting that with these, you will need access to steel ammunition as well, which means that you're going to need to go into the crafting tree, down on ammunition 1, then advanced ammunition 1 and ammunition 2 in order to be able to access the steel bullets for this. Now, if we are playing later in the season, like I said, if you are watching this at a later point, there is also some additional stuff you can unlock, such as the close defense turrets, defense traps, auto turrets 2, defense traps 3, and close turret 2. So all of these will of course be helpful as well. However, at the current time of recording this, right near the start of the very first season of the Once Human launch, we haven't got access to this right now. Another thing that is worth noting in the Memetics Specializations, I have also managed to pick up a very useful thing here called Stone Structures Intense Defense. Now what this does is structures built from stone gain the Intense Defense effect, which gives the durability plus 100%, and the maximum number of structural items that can be placed in your territory at any one time is plus 100. It then goes on to detail all of the things that are affected by this, but essentially it's going to be all of my stone buildings. Now, this is nice because if you've done one of these defenses before, or you've seen people do them, the wooden stuff can get destroyed pretty easily, and I've just done one of these before recording this video, and actually if we have a look in the build menu, most of this stuff, I'll just fly around again because it's a little easier, actually is pretty much at full durability, or more or less full durability. We've lost a little bit here, but overall we're looking pretty good. The turrets are in good health, and we had some explosive drones down this side, and again they've only done a tiny bit of durability damage. So this is actually a really good perk if you do manage to get it. If you're not aware, you can also go into these and you can reset them, so you can try to basically re-roll these and get another turn at getting these. So if you do want to focus on trying to get hold of that one, you can have a little turn at re-rolling a couple of times for that. And as far as I can tell, it costs you 1 Stardust source in order to re-roll. I think that's the currency it's using, so it's pretty easy to get a hold of. As you can see, I've got a fair amount of these here, and you can get them fairly easily as well. Alright, so now we've covered the defense and what you're going to actually be doing. We're going to touch here on how you actually get the Cortexes. Now, it says at the bottom of these, how to get is a reward of a dungeon first clear, public crisis events, and warband activities. This is going to be the same for the level 2 ones, and I would imagine the same for the level 3 plus ones once they drop as well, but it will tell you on the items when they drop, once you get hold of some, how you can get hold of them. Now, one thing you will notice at the bottom of this description is it says process this on a synthesis bench to get level 2, and of course this one to get level 3. So what you will need to do is have the Memetic unlocked on the crafting tab for the synthesis bench here. This of course unlocks level 2, and for those that are wondering, you can go right down here to the tier 5 section once this is unlocked, and you can get the advanced synthesis bench, which does give you the level 3 cortexes as well. Seems like that might be the top level, as they are the legendary rarity, and there's no further upgrades here, but I can't be 100% sure as of right now, because at recording, like I said, we haven't got further into the season. Once you've unlocked the synthesis bench, you can simply go over to it. It needs to be powered, so that's going to one of my solar panels up the top, and of course you can then click synthesize. What this will allow you to do is build a few different things, but the thing we're focusing on right here is of course the cortexes. You need 3 to 1 of the previous tier, so right now we can build 2 of these level 2 ones for the level 1s, and we can go ahead and craft those. They take 10 seconds each, and then we can actually input those into our defense to get a little bit more reward. One of the ways I've found to farm these pretty easily is heading over to the refinery pollution point. You can see here that there is on the rewards list. It did drop me the level 1 ones, but of course, like I've just shown you there, you can upgrade them to level 2, and I'm not sure, it might sometimes drop a level 2 if you're lucky as well. So that's going to be something that you can repeat with lots of the people in the area if you get lucky at a time where people are doing it, which is great. They do have a couple of minutes cooldown in between each time you can activate this, and they are quite ammo consuming, but they are quite a bit of fun, especially if you go with a group of friends or a group of players from the server and actually go ahead and do these. These are great, and it's a great way to earn it. The other one is this random boss encounter thing that you can find around the world with this pinky purple glow, where you go into it, it puts you into an instance, and it will give you a task in the top left. In this case, it was to destroy the egg things, and then I actually got my chest, and of course that gave me some of these cortexes as well. These can be quite fun anyway and give some good rewards, but this is another additional way that you can get these, so it's pretty nice. Now, there might be some other ways to get those cortexes, but those are the main 2 that I have found more consistently. I am gaining them from, you probably can get them from other sources, so if you found any good ways of farming these additionally, let me know down below in the comments, but those are my most consistent ways to find these. And then, like I showed you before, you go ahead, you pop these in, and you will get a reward. Remember, if you get to 10, and possibly once you get to 20 and such, be aware of the amount of waves and the level of monster that you have, as well as the number of elites. And also be aware of the weekly purification limit. You can only purify 40 cortexes a week, so if you do the level 1s, that is going to count towards it, and it's not going to give you as much as an increase as the level 2 ones do. So bear that in mind if you are wanting to save up and maybe transfer your level 1s into level 2s in order to make this a better outcome. But of course, it is recommended for players to try and get some friends or some people from the server to help you with this. Once you've reached your limit, you can hover over it to see how long the reset is going to be. So for me at the time of recording is 1 day 10 hours. That means after that time I can then do an additional 40, so it's not an indefinite farm for the Starchrom, but it is a good way to get it. You actually go into your inventory and hover over the Starchrom. There is a little button that pops up here that says how to get, as a little extra tidbit, although this is kind of, the video is more about farming the territory purification. You can also do season goals, which it can take you to and show you which ones you'll get Starchrom from to get large quantities of it, which probably most of you have done a lot of by now. You can also do Stronghold Conquest, which is take part in Frontier Conquest via Stronghold Conquest. Additional Starchrom will be obtained based on your ranking. So I think this is a PvP thing, I'm not 100% sure, but you can have a look into that if it is on your server. And then you have the Stellar Planular Shop, redeem Stellar Triangular in the shop for Starchrom. So if you go to the Season Goals one, you'll actually go over here and you'll be able to see that once you get the first star, the second star, and the third star, you get 400, 600, and 1,000 respectively, for a total of 2,000 Starchrom there. And what you will notice if you go to these Season Goals, that is for the first one. But then if we head back out of this, you'll actually see that there is a second one here that opens in 4 hours and 3 minutes, meaning that you can go ahead and then do the next one on the second week, the third week, the fourth week, and the fifth week here, all corresponding titles. So if you actually head over to the phase tab, you can check which phase of the season you are currently on, and then which of the corresponding goals will be unlocked at which point. Now, for the sake of completeness as well, it's worth noting that you can get a fair amount of Starchrom here from the Battle Pass. You first get 1,000 at level 5, and this is on the free version, then another 1,000 at level 15, another 1,000 at level 25, and so on and so forth. This is, like I said, on the free version of the Battle Pass. This is another big way to get yourself some Starchrom, which is going to be really nice as well if you are trying to get hands-on with all of those different skins and whatever else. So that is going to be it for today's video. Make sure you're maxing out your Starchrom weekly purification here on your defense so that you can get as much of this currency as possible, get your hands on some of those fantastic blueprints, and get some of the better gear in the game. If you have found this video useful and informative, please do drop me a like and a subscribe down below. Both of those things are massively appreciated. And other than that, I'll catch you again shortly on a brand new upload. So thanks for watching, take care, and peace.